Hey, this is Pete Hink. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite types of lures to throw, and those are suspend baits. They're one of my favorite lures as far as paddleboard fishing. What I like about these, they are great baits to sit there and cast. They're only going to sink down maybe a foot or two, so it keeps it from going in the oysters. They're also a fantastic choice as far as trolling, when going from point A to point B. Perfect trolling speed on a paddleboard. So I'm usually trolling a suspend bait. Unlike a jig, it's not going to sink to the bottom if I stop, and it's not going to sit there, float on the surface, and be picked off by a seagull. So I'm going to talk about 3 different suspend baits that I've used over the years, and tell you the pros and cons of each one. First of all, I've been using the MR17 as a Meriden. I've been using this bait for years. Fantastic bait. It spins very well into the water, catches a ton of fish. The downside of this bait is after a few fish, especially like trout, if you run across a barracuda, anything with teeth, bluefish, this thing will take in water. This lure here should rattle. If I take it, I shake it, this one here is not rattling at all. What happened is water got into the chamber, filled up, so now this thing sinks faster. It'll still catch fish. It sinks faster now, and you don't get the rattle, so you don't get the sound attraction that you had of this lure before. The hooks are very durable, but as far as the body, I was ending up going through 3 or 4 of these on a fishing trip when I had toothy fish around. So good lure, you might go through a lot of them. This next lure, made by Unfair Lures, is a rip and slash. As you can see, this one's been used quite a bit, been beat up. Very durable body, rattles. Like I say, this thing's caught a lot of fish. Toothy and non-toothy, it still rattles well. Very durable. Also, the hooks I find are very durable. Also, they're custom made, by them. It actually has a barb on the outer edges of the treble hook, which is kind of unique. Does catch fish, man. I caught snook, trout, redfish, you name it on this little lure. Very durable. It has a lot of action, and it's a good choice. It's one that I use a lot when I'm working the bait fast, casting around docks and just giving that twitching motion. So far it's been a very good go-to bait, and I haven't had anything really that killed it yet. So this is a rip and slash. Next bait is Usery, and this is one of their suspend baits. Actually, if you look at this lure, what I like about this lure, it has a little bit of a lip on there. While the other baits, as you throw these baits in the water, you twitch them, they just kind of dart back and forth. This one here, with that little bit of a lip, even when the bait's hardly moving, it gives it a little more wobble to it. So if you want a slow presentation, you throw it around a dock and you just want to look like a minnow just swimming nonchalantly, this is deadly. Tarpon love it also. I don't know what it is. You sit there, and I've been trying for 2 years now to catch a tarpon in Sebastian River. It is tough. This lure, I've hooked 3 so far. I had yet to bring one in. Just slow, and the trick is moving this super slow. So this is my definitely go-to troll lure, because even when I stop and I'm casting, I still got that line behind me. I'm casting with another rod. This is behind the paddleboard, and even a small little bit of current with that lip gives a little bit of action. The downside to this lure, I found out, the hooks. Very small, very sharp, they're very good, but eventually I get them broken off, or I get them bent. Of course, I'm hooking fish. I've landed a 15-pound Jack Crevalle on it, hooked several tarpon in the 40-pound class. These hooks are just not meant for that. But what I do afterwards, I get a single hook that's basically the same weight. I don't want to put a stronger treble hook because that weighs the lure down, will change the action of it. I'll put a single hook on it, and I had one with a single hook until a big Jack Crevalle took it from me. But I'll put a single hook on there, and I try to match the weight of the treble hook, and I will replace the trebles with the single hooks, little J hooks, when they do wear out. But this is definitely my go-to when trolling. Casting, working a bait, across an oyster bar, a flat, nothing beats the rip and slash. another great lure to use. And the Meriden. I love the Meridens. I love them, but man, I tear them up. I'll go through 3 of them. You know, the Meridens, once that takes on water, that lure just changes. Now, the Usery, yeah, Usery gets their hooks bent, but I can replace the hooks. Meriden, once it takes on water, it's taking on water. It's a whole different bait. But those are 3 different options that you can use. Great lures. You cast them out, you twitch them, just a little twitch of your rod tip, and these things dart back and forth. And it's right in that strike zone. That's what I love about these lures. They'll get more strikes than a topwater would. A lot of times fish will hit baits on the top. A lot of times they wait for them to go down about 1 foot. And this thing here, I find it's in the strike zone, but the lure is close enough to the surface. When they hit, you usually still get the explosion as that fish, snook, redfish, largemouth bass comes up and pounds it. So 3 different suspend baits that I use. They're all excellent. You know, if you haven't tried a suspend bait, give it a try. And whether you're kayak fishing or paddleboard fishing, you know, you're trolling that perfect trolling speed, don't be afraid to troll one of these behind you. You never know, man. You're going to find that little secret trout spot that you've been paddling over for years. This is Peter Hink, and always, thank you for watching.